The next leg in the Capital OTB Handicapping Contest Series is Saturday, April 7th at the Clubhouse Racebook in Albany. The Turf Hop offers thousands in cash and prizes and your chance at a seat in the 2013 National Handicapping Championship. You will be wagering on selected turf races from tracks around the country. So sign up today at capitalotb.com or stop down at the Clubhouse and pick up your entry form. Capital OTB Handicapping Contest Series is presented by Embrace the Race, apparel for the horse racing lifestyle.
This is the OTB Network.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses. 17 races to bring you from 8 different racetracks in the annual big day of the year at both Turfway Park and Sunland Park. We'll have premier 3-year-old prep races to bring you later on in the show. But up first, one stakes race from this weekend down at Gulfstream Park, a marathon turf race, the Pan American. There was a couple early scratches, and you know you're in trouble when the number of turns in the race almost equals the field size. Newsdad, the 7-10 favorite.
In, and they're all in line. They're racing in the Pan American, and the 4 of them broke as one. Harrods Creek's going to go out and set the pace. Hailstone second to the outside, a neck back in the early stages, while Newsdad is hard held back there in third, only 2 lengths off the lead. The trailer is Samard as they make their way toward the first turn. And the leader is Harrods Creek. Harrods Creek on top by about a length. There goes Samard now, and he's going to go up and challenge Harrods Creek. Samard sent along by Patrick Husbands just to the outside of Harrods Creek as they make their way to the top of the stretch for the first time. Hailstone is next, and Newsdad now settled down in the back of the field. He's about 4 lengths off the lead, 25 flat. A tepid first fraction here as Harrods Creek leads the way. On the outside, Samard is second, Hailstone behind them, and Newsdad's not far behind. Newsdad 3.5 lengths off the pace with 1 lap to go. Harrods Creek and Jose Lezcano ran 49 flat for a half mile, and they lead over Samard by about a length. And then comes on the inside, running in third position, Hailstone, and Newsdad is the trailer, and Newsdad is racing about 4 lengths off the lead now on that turn. It is Harrods Creek on top. Came out of the gate well. He leads the way by a length and a half. Samard on the outside, now just right off the leader. Hailstone is third along the rail, and Newsdad has been guided outside by Julien Leperoux, and he's now 2.5 lengths behind after 3/4 in 1:13.1. Harrods Creek continues to lead a half a length. On the outside, Samard putting on some pressure in second. Newsdad edges up alongside of Hailstone, and now Newsdad is into third, and he's 2 lengths off the lead as the field enters the far turn. Harrods Creek now by a neck. Samard moves up alongside. Samard on even terms. Samard pokes ahead in front. Newsdad moves now. Here comes Newsdad now, just to the outside of Samard. And Newsdad has swept up to take the lead as they come to the top of the stretch. And Hailstone follows his run. It is Newsdad in front. Hailstone drafted in behind him. He's now second to the outside. Then Samard, and back to fourth is Harrods Creek. Newsdad has the lead as they pass the 16th pole. And Newsdad and Julien Leperoux will win the Pan American. It was Hailstone second, and Samard finished third.
Well, folks, kudos to Newsdad and Julien Leperoux. I know I'm not one to get very excited on a $3.40 winner, but 3 turns, 4 horses in a race, a lot can go haywire or goofy or whatever you want to say, whether it's pace or you just truly have no idea. And in a sport looking forward to handicapping races, boy, this is as tough as it gets. But Newsdad last on the backside, very comfortable within himself, although in a short field, what the heck does that mean? But this offspring of Arch with Pulpit on the bottom side, that's turf on turf pedigree for those 2 good dirt runners, and Bill Mott, The beat just goes on. Julian Leperoux also Newsdad, who was nosed out in the Mac Diarmata most recently, scores the victory in Saturday's 53rd running of the Pan American. Now turning our attention to the fairgrounds, ladies and gentlemen, they were running the Happy Ticket. Unfortunately, with the rains coming in, we're off the turf.
And they're off in the Happy Ticket Stakes. And there's Inspired going right out toward the front. Smarty's Empress also broke sharp. Brand Lioness right there too. Nearest the inside is Speedacious, and a bit tight there in that 4th spot. Speedacious is right there held at heels. Fast Tip and out wide Lady Chesterfield trails. Inspired leads past the half mile. Inspired by a length and a half to Brand Lioness, and at the inside Smarty's Empress right there too. Speedacious is 4th. And 6 lengths from the leader. Inspired now with 3 furlongs to go. Out wide then is Lady Chesterfield, and Fast Tip trails the field. Inspired leads. Went the quarter in 22 and 1. Now in the shadow of the quarter pole. Inspired looks sharp off the turn. Inspired leads by 3, but the challenge from Speedacious toward the inside. Smarty's Empress. Grand Lioness went under pressure. Lady Chesterfield and Fast Tip into the final furlong. Inspired, Speedacious runs at Inspired now, and these two in a test of wills for the final 16th. Inspired, Speedacious. It's Speedacious and Inspired. Inspired, Speedacious in a thriller in the Happy Ticket Stakes. That is awfully close. Smarty's Empress 3rd.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed a racing rarity. Almost the type of situation you will not see once in a decade, and that is not the fact that this was a dead heat, which it was, ladies and gentlemen, not the fact that it was an off the turf, for which it was, but you have multiple horses on multiple winning streaks that exit with the winning streaks intact. Speedacious now 4 for 4, and Inspired now 3 for 3 as they dead heat at the line at the fairgrounds. John Dooley with a brilliant, brilliant call. They're nearly 6 lengths in front of Smarty's Empress, but the winning streaks are intact, ladies and gentlemen. 4 and 3 respectively in the off-the-turf Happy Ticket on Saturday from the fairgrounds. Now turning our attention to Maryland, where turf racing is underway. We don't have a turf race for you, but we do have the 1.8 Harrison E. Johnson Memorial, last year's champion, 8 too fast to catch. Back in, was 4 to 5 on the morning line, goes off at 1 to 5.
And they're off. Cherokee Artist with 8 to fast to catch away with a sharp beginning, and Concealed Identity taken back in between the pair, and Indian Jones from the inside gate back to Regal Warrior racing to the tail of the field, second last position, and Thomas God Even is the trailer. Around the turn, and it's Cherokee Artist. Alongside though is 8 to fast to catch with Concealed Identity. A close and tracking third, just 2 lengths of 8 to fast to catch has now made that lead. Indian Jones is in 4th position, and Regal Warrior the 2 path, and last is Thomas God Even, who's some 8 lengths off a pace. 24 and 3 the opening quarter for 8 to fast to catch. Well relaxed up front from Concealed Identity, and Cherokee Artist back inside is a little more from 3rd. Now about to take 2nd once more. Here's Regal Warrior traveling 4th about mid-pack, and it's Indian Jones, and last is Thomas God Even still. Thomas God Even 8 or 9 lengths off the pace. 48 and 4 half mile. And Cherokee Artist has come through back on the inside now, and Cherokee Artist to reclaim that lead, and 8 to fast to catch is 2nd. Concealed Identity's next 3rd spot. Regal Warrior then it's back to Indian Jones lingering 2nd last, and Thomas God Even trailing the field 3 ace out. It's Cherokee Artist in front from 8 to fast to catch us to work back to even terms on the outside. Concealed Identity fully extended from 3rd, and Regal Warrior's 4th after 1:13 and 1 3/4 mark. Into the stretch now, and it's Cherokee Artist at 8 to fast to catch on the outside is willing to roar back for more. Showdown between 8 to fast to catch and a determined Cherokee Artist. 5 lengths clear from Concealed Identity. A furlong left to go. 8 to fast to catch. 1 to 5. Still alive. Got that neck in front. A 16th of a mile out. 8 to fast to catch. 8 to fast to catch. Turning back Cherokee Artist. 8 to fast to catch. Wins at a length. Cherokee Artist and Indian Jones and Concealed Identity.
Having not spoken with Sheldon Russell after the race, just watching his hands on the 1-5 shot, a very good ride. It appeared to these eyes as if he never panicked when Cherokee Artist took the racetrack away from him from down inside. The 1-5 shot just sat chilly and then draws off in the stretch to win by a comfortable 1 length. 8 too fast to catch, making it 2 in a row. This year winning on a sealed good racetrack, returning the $2.40 in Saturday's Harrison E. Johnson Memorial. One more race to bring you before our break. Going to go out to Oak Lawn Park on the precipice of their big week of racing. We have the 66th running of the Hot Springs.
Walking up and in. And they're off in the Hot Springs. Our Dark Knight, Silver Magnus, both came out very smoothly and will battle it out through the opening furlong. Chief of Affairs is also up close. There goes City Sage, and City Sage, with a burst of speed, is up to take command. Lydia's Last Step is only 2 lengths off the lead. Riley Tucker wasn't that quick out of there, but he's rushing up nicely now to claim that 3rd spot. Our Dark Knight is now toward the back of the pack with Agastache outside of him. And now Agastache is being pulled up. Number 5, Agastache pulled up around the far turn. 3 furlongs to go. Silver Magnus between horses. City Sage on the outside. Riley Tucker 3/4 back in 3rd. Chief of Affairs is 4th, only 2 lengths off the lead, and Chief of Affairs is moving into contention. It's a gap of 6. Lydia's Last Step losing ground, passed by Our Dark Knight. A 1/4 mile to run, and it's City Sage in the white blinkers, joined and passed by Chief of Affairs. These two will arrive at the 8th pole together. City Sage is battling back. Silver Magnus back to 3rd. Riley Tucker just didn't fire with his A game. Our Dark Knight is finishing very strongly in the center of the track. City Sage has fended off Chief of Affairs. Here comes Our Dark Knight gobbling up the ground. City Sage, Our Dark Knight. City Sage holds on in an ultra-impressive performance, putting away the speed and holding off Our Dark Knight. It was a battle for 3rd between Silver Magnus, Riley Tucker, and Chief of Affairs.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, City Sage shipping in from Sunland Park for a first-time Oak Lawn Park, only the 2nd race since early in December, was 12-1 on the morning line, but gets bet down to 4-1, scoring the victory as the 3rd choice. And Riley Tucker, who broke from the rail in the 39th career start, was 6-5, finishes off the board. Folks, Riley Tucker's been around so long, he finished last in Big Brown's Preakness, but Our Dark Knight finishes 2nd, and Chief of Affairs finishes 3rd. But City Sage, coming out of an allowance race at Sunland Park, scores in Saturday's Hot Spring Stakes. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we'll have 4 from Turfway and 3 from Sunland Park. And welcome back to Horses and Courses, ladies and gentlemen. Now time to turn our attention to annually the biggest day at Turfway Park, the Vinery Spiral Stakes Day. But up first, we will have 3-year-olds sprinting in the Hansel and the 9-5 favorite, Lockout making his first start since the Gray Stakes up at Woodbine last autumn.
And they're off. For the lead from the inside, that's Tis Tea Time. From between horses, Sunday Mass. Then up in the center of the track, that She's Ready Made. Down along the rail, Calcutta is next. From between horses, Lockout down the back stretch. She's Ready Made. Puts ahead in front of Tis Tea Time. Then it's Sunday Mass who runs third. From the outside, Hoggy is fourth. Between horses, into fifth, that's Lockout. Thomas Jefferson gains from sixth. Calcutta is seventh. As they move into the turn, She's Ready Made. Hoggy is gaining up on the outside second. Tis Tea Time third. Thomas Jefferson runs fourth. They're into the stretch, and Hoggy now gets the lead and draws away. Hoggy draws off, leads it by 4. Then from the inside, that's still She's Ready Made. Down along the rail, Tis Tea Time, but it's all Hoggy. Late run from Magical Season. Hoggy wins by 6. Magical Season second. Then Thomas Jefferson and Lockout.
Well, Hoggy, you saw the red cap and the white silks moving into your picture on the middle of the turn on what was one of the sunniest days I've ever seen racing conducted at Turfway Park, and made it look easy, winning by nearly 7 lengths in the first start coming out of the September 10th Arlington, Washington Futurity. Magical Season finishes second with Thomas Jefferson. I wonder if they received historical naming rights. As a matter of fact, owned in conjunction. Robert Clay and Tracy Farmer. Lockout finishes fourth, making the first start since October, but Hoggy, an impressive $12.40 winner of Saturday's Hansel Stakes. Up next, the 28th running of the Rushaway 9-5 Flashy Dancer.
Gung Ho acting up a bit. And they're off, and Gung Ho stumbled a bit leaving the gate, and Blue Dacious was off slowly. Dynamical broke quickly and gets the lead with Going to Market. After that slight stumble, Gung Ho is right there, and Flashy Dresser is on the outside, well bunched into the first turn with Dynamical in front. On the outside, Gung Ho second. Length and a half back to Flashy Dresser in third. Going to Market runs fourth. Gaining on the outside, Gold McGilla takes fifth. Sky Alert sixth. 2.5 back to Blue Dacious. Posy Rose trails after a quarter. In 24-4, Dynamical ahead in front of Gung Ho. Flashy Dresser up on the outside, gains from third. Gold McGilla is fourth. Then it's Going to Market, followed by Sky Alert. The trailers, Posy Rose and Blue Dacious. Moving into the turn, Dynamical, Gung Ho. Flashy Dresser right there on the outside, those three together. Gap of 2.5 to Gold McGilla in fourth. The half in 49-4. It's Gung Ho on the inside with Flashy Dresser. Those two together. Dynamical is dropped back. Gold McGilla moves up. Gap of 5 back to Sky Alert as they move for the stretch. Flashy Dresser on the outside, right there on the rail, Gung Ho. These two together. Gold McGilla moves up from third. They're nearing the wire. Flashy Dresser and Gung Ho. Here comes Gold McGilla, but Flashy Dresser. Flashy Dresser, a horse with a future. Out games Gung Ho, Gold McGilla third, then Dynamical.
And Flashy Dresser, off a very impressive debut at Gulfstream Park on the dirt, goes 2 turns on the poly track and scores a victory first time versus winners at $5.60. Looked very sharp, ranging up into contention on the outside under Luis Contreras, and then just keeps on keeping on and holding off Gung Ho to finish second. Gung Ho coming out of the October 8th Breeders' Futurity for the first start as a 3-year-old. Fred Seitz owns and trains the winner. Also want to mention here, folks, when you make trip notes, in a field of 8, to have 50% of the field have awful starts. How about some of these verbs? Stumbled, hopped, hesitated, lost his footing. That's for 4 of them in Saturday's rush away. But you heard Mike Battaglia. I'm sure the phone has been ringing off the hook after only 2 career starts for Flashy Dresser. Up next, the Phillies in the Bourbonnette Oaks.
And they're off. Toxis broke well, so did In Lingerie up on the outside, Dancing Solo, and in the center of the track, Dixie Jackpot. But In Lingerie goes right to the front. In Lingerie in front by a length over stablemate Dancing Solo. Up on the outside, Dixie Jackpot third ahead. Down along the inside, Toxis is fourth. More Than Love moves up fifth. Original Kitten sixth. 2 back to the trailers, Bourbonesque and Bourbon Street Girl. Quarter in 25 and 1, a slow opening quarter for In Lingerie, and John Velasquez has slowed the pace down, leads at a length. Gaining on the outside now, Original Kitten going up into second. Then it's Dixie Jackpot third. Down along the rail, Dancing Solo is fourth. More Than Love fifth. 2.5 to Toxis in sixth. Then it's Bourbonesque and the trailer Bourbon Street Girl. The half went in 49 seconds flat. And In Lingerie in hand has the lead by 2 lengths. Stablemate Dancing Solo now retakes second. Up on the outside, Dixie Jackpot is third. More Than Love gains from fourth. Original Kitten is dropped back. Moving through from the inside, that's Toxis. Then Bourbonesque and Bourbon Street Girl, but In Lingerie has everything her own way into the stretch under Johnny Velasquez in hand with a 2.5 length lead. Dancing Solo second, Dixie Jackpot third. More Than Love has dropped way back, and it's In Lingerie just drawing off. In Lingerie and Johnny Velasquez lead all the way to win the Bourbonnette Oaks by 7 lengths. Stablemate Dancing Solo second. That was a photo for third. Toxis and a late running Bourbon Street Girl. In Lingerie wins the Bourbonnette in 138 and 1.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't know what to make of In Lingerie's impressive every step of winning one, win by 6, third career start. This horse, 2 back, was very impressive in the Turfway Park debut, won by half a dozen plus. Next out, going a mile, was the 8-5 favorite over Zoe Impression at Gulfstream Park. Tasted defeat, was runner-up. Now comes back, goes 2 turns, runs 49.10 for the first half mile, then comes home like a turf race in 49.18. So medium. I won't say, slow and medium, but very constant velocity for In Lingerie, who did look visually impressive in the third career start for Todd Pletcher and Johnny V, owned by Eclipse Thoroughbred Partners and Gary Barber. Dancing Solo finishes second. Toxics off the maiden special weight victory finishes third. But In Lingerie, have to think off of the Grade 3 Bourbonnette Oaks now will be thinking about going forward in the Kentucky Oaks, and I'm pretty sure down the line in today's program we'll have another 3-year-old filly thinking very seriously about the Kentucky Oaks. The biggest race annually of the year, $500,000, 3-year-olds going 9 furlongs. The Derby winner came out of this race last year, the Vinery Racing Spiral, a 2-1 favorite, Heavy Breathing.
All standing well, and they're off. For the lead from between horses, that's all squared away, but quickly on the inside, Heavy Breathing and Red Jack. Moving up from the outside, that's Ill Conceived. Heavy Breathing is going to have the lead as they move for the first turn with Ill Conceived. Now moving up, taking second, Coach Royal third. Tis an Expense hung wide there in fourth. Getting through from the inside, Red Jack fifth ahead. Went the Daywell right there in sixth. Holiday Promise is seventh. Then it's Steel Case, Mr. Prankster, Russian Greek. Length back to All Squared Away, who broke well but now has 1 beat. And that is Handsome Mike, who we expected to show speed. And he trails after a quarter in 23 flat. And it's Heavy Breathing in front. On the outside, Ill Conceived is second. Length back, In the center of the track, Tis an Expense takes third ahead. Coach Royal fourth ahead. Went the Day Well is going well down along the inside. Also moving up, that's Holiday Promise. It's a length back to Red Jack. Steelcase moves up. As they move into the turn, they got the half in 46 and 4. That's a quick half mile for Heavy Breathing. Ahead in front of Ill Conceived, Went the Day Well, and Holiday Promise are both gaining ground. Then a gap of 4 back to All Squared Away, Steel Case. They're moving for the stretch. Heavy Breathing went the day well, and Holiday Promise on the outside went the day well. Puts ahead in front. Heavy Breathing not done on the inside. On the outside, that's Holiday Promise, but it's went the day well. Went the day well. Goes on over a Holiday Promise. Went the day well. Impressively wins it under Johnny Velasquez for Graham Motion. Wins going away under Holiday Promise. Heavy Breathing had dropped back in third. The mile and an eighth, 151 and 1.
Well, we've seen this rodeo before. Team Valor Stable, Graham Motion, went the day well, a nice 3.5 length victory. And as you were watching them going into the far turn, and if you knew that it was went the day well on the inside, it looked as if to me that John Velasquez worked this winner for about the last 4 furlongs. See what happens going forward. The Kentucky Derby would seem to be a natural progression, and the $300,000, or in this case, $282,000 winner's share for Went the Day Well, who just exits Breaking the Maiden, will be more than enough in the graded stakes earnings to secure a spot in the starting gate of the Kentucky Derby. Holiday Promise, a serious question here. How do you not win from that position? I know you're 25 to 1, but you're off the shoulder of a horse who has now worked the entire turn, going inside, outside, but Holiday Promise, non-threatening. And Heavy Breathing, how do you bet the horse down to 2-2, 2-1 after being 2 for 2 at Gulfstream Park, and now tries Poly for the first time? And I got to tell you, I thought ran pretty darn well. Not at 2-1, but pretty darn well for a horse up against it, going 9 furlongs. Quick early pace. They finish in 151.33. Have no idea what to make of this, as we saw Animal Kingdom just destroy the competition. First time dirt after winning the Vinery Racing Spiral last season. Now, we already know Went the Day Well has already scored on conventional dirt. Now turning our attention to Sunland Park, their huge day on Sunday. Kicking it off up first, the 20th running of the Harry Henson at 6-5, 12:22.
2 Case Restless. Away they run and slow was Pyrite on My Mind. Hard-ridden Case Ace, and out in front 12:22 began well with Pick and Pray on the outside. Up the rails Remit and Case Ace between them as they start to lock up in the lead. And back on the outside Pyrite on My Mind, but back in front by a length is Pick and Pray. Remit sharing second with Case Ace on the outside and tracking them 12:22. And the one at the back, Pyrite on My Mind, where Rafael Bejarano controls the race here with Pick and Pray. A length in front, up in second, Case Ace, and racing wide is 12:22. On the inside, hugging the inside rail is Remit, and 2 lengths away last is Pyrite on My Mind. The pace is okay, and out in front, Pick and Pray, travelling well by a length to Case Ace, and racing on the outside of them, 12:22. Keeping tabs on this leader, Pick and Pray in front. About 3 or 4 lengths off the lead is Remit, and a length and a half to Pyrite on My Mind. The half mile was 46 flat, and leading the way in the Harry Henson Pick and Pray, challenged strongly by 12:22, who stokes the fire now, and 12:22 alongside Pick and Pray, 3 furlongs to run, and has gone a neck clear. 2 away, Case Ace is losing touch. Remit called on, is starting to make some ground, but not that much, and 12:22 is coasting away from Pick and Pray. Pyrite on My Mind not in the same league as these runners as they corner, and 12:22 racing 3 in front, looks all over a winner in the Harry Henson. In second placing Pick and Pray, then Case Ace, Remit is labouring, and Pyrite on My Mind, and we're going to have an astonishing margin here. It's a matter of how far. 12:22 is about 10 lengths in front. Case Ace has run to second. Pick and Pray is battling away, but what an amazing win. 12:22, she looks absolutely stellar, and she wins the Harry Henson effortlessly. It's another dimension there. 12 lengths, second Case Ace, another 10 to Remit, and then Pick and Pray and Pyrite on My Mind.
The 7-year-old offspring of Calfwane is now 7 for 7, at Sunland Park. Won 4 in a row before getting her head handed to her in the Humana Distaff at Churchill Downs. And since then has won 3 more in a row. Makes it look easy, winning by nearly a baker's dozen, returning $4.40 and making that look good, with Casey Ace and Remit finishing well back in the 1 mile Harry Henson. Up next, the 12th running of the Sunland Park Oaks. And remember, folks, last year, Plum Pretty for Bob Baffert won by the length of the stretch onto her way to victory in the Kentucky Oaks at 1-5, Princess Arabella.
Fallen and locked up. Away they run, and the favorite came right out in front. Princess Arabella straight to the lead from Sophisticated as they go. Up on the outside, Glinda the Good is moving forward with the ears pricked and goes to second. Eyes in Trouble on the outside third. Regal Betty flushed wide and keeping tabs on them. Take Me Away Today, and last out the stretch, 5 away is Feisty Flirt. But it is Princess Arabella, and she's going to try and take them gate to wire. Princess Arabella coasting along by a length. Keeping tabs on this leader, though. Glinda the Good's right behind in second, and third Sophisticated. 1 away is Eyes in Trouble in fourth, tucking in nicely. Then Regal Betty. Take Me Away Today back second last, and 6 away last is Feisty Flirt. Princess Arabella hasn't been tested at all so far. She leads the way by a length and a half to Glinda the Good. A length away third is Eyes in Trouble, edging up to join Sophisticated. Racing on their outside is Regal Betty, and 3 lengths away Take Me Away Today, and a distant last is Feisty Flirt. Princess Arabella hasn't changed gears yet. She goes to the half mile in front. Glinda the Good is still right behind her, only a half behind. She's making a little move on the leader. Princess Arabella away from the inside, shirks that off, goes out 3 parts to Glinda the Good, and Eyes in Trouble's in the thick of things. There's a chance. In fourth placing is on the outside Regal Betty, and Take Me Away Today's running on. The race starts to heat up here, and Princess Arabella in front. In second, Glinda the Good. Eyes in Trouble in third. They're well ahead. Take Me Away Today's running on, but Princess Arabella starts to open up as they corner and into the lane in the Sunland Park Oaks, and it's Princess Arabella by 2 lengths to Glinda the Good. Eyes in Trouble is flat, and down in the lane it's Princess Arabella opening to a 5-length lead. Glinda the Good in second, and back in third is Eyes in Trouble, and she has no trouble whatsoever. Princess Arabella a track gallop. Another dynamo from the Bob Baffert barn. Princess Arabella coasts in by 7 lengths. Glinda the Good looks to have just held second from Eyes in Trouble and ahead, Bob. And then came Take Me Away Today.
Another smashing victory in the Sunland Park Oaks for Bob Baffert. Peachtree, 1-5 on the board. Wins by 8. Now 3 for 3 lifetime after scoring at even money in the career debut. 1-10, taking on winners for the first time. Brilliant workouts since then. Princess Arabella just looking outstanding in a very comfortable race. I mean, she was allowed to be in her comfort zone. This offspring of Any Given Saturday performed magnificently. Have to think that Bob Baffert's already made travel plans to the Sunland Park Oaks for 2013, but with Princess Arabella coming out of this race and moving forward and upward into graded stakes company. Glinda the Good, the second choice at 5-2 coming out of the Island Fashion Stakes victory, had no chance behind the easy runaway winner. Up next, the 10th running of the Sunland Park Derby, $800,000, graded status, to me ensuring financially that the first 2 runners are going to have a spot in the Kentucky Derby if they'd like. Going for 3 in a row, Castaway, the 8-5 favorite.
On their way, and Castaway the best away on the inside. Away well into Knievel, and showing early speed is Daddy Knows Best on the outside with Isn't He Clever, but no real hurry here out in front. Castaway on the inside, and then the Knievel, stride to stride, neck and neck. 3 away Isn't He Clever gets a beautiful trail in third. Up on the outside is No Spin. Stirred Up's about 5 off the lead on the inside as they head out the stretch, and Daddy Knows Best behind those runners is off the heels of No Spin. 2 lengths Tequila Factor second last, and last is Just an Old Song. Racing away together here, Castaway on the inside, Ender Knievel the outer. They have staged a terrific battle in the early part, and they zip through that opening quarter. They're 6 in front. A very nice position. Isn't He Clever as third, brings the brigade forward. Then came No Spin, stirred up on the inside, length to Daddy Knows Best. 2.5 Tequila Factor second last, at last Just an Old Song. They're in their own private war up front. Ender Knievel on the outside, and Castaway the rails by 3. Isn't He Clever's had the run of the race and is going ever so well. A length away is No Spin. Daddy Knows Best in the center. Stirred up on the inside as they bunch up, and he's off and running on Isn't He Clever, and he's gone on by Ender Knievel and Castaway, and has gone to the front as they head to the 3 furlongs. Isn't He Clever, the new leader in the Sunland Derby? Running home is No Spin and Daddy Knows Best, and a length and a half away Stirred Up. Well back Tequila Factor and Just an Old Song. Isn't He Clever? Luis Contreras opening up on them. Ender Knievel is beaten. Running into second spot, Daddy Knows Best and No Spin. Then Stirred Up and back on the inside. Castaway's going to run at the back, but it's Isn't He Clever down the lane, the one to catch. It's Isn't He Clever by 3 lengths. Daddy Knows Best starting to make some inroads. Daddy Knows Best is inching home on the outside. Isn't He Clever starting to tire? Here comes Daddy Knows Best, and Daddy Knows Best trying desperately. Daddy Knows Best gradually getting there, and Daddy Knows Best is going to be the best. Daddy Knows Best wins the Sunland Derby. Isn't He Clever second? 7 away, Stirred Up third, and then came No Spin.
Well, there you have it, with nearly a 12-1 final eighth of a mile on dirt. Daddy Knows Best, this turf horse who began their career sprinting on the dirt at Churchill Downs, then became a better turf horse. Now, with the $400,000 winner's share, 176 second place share for Isn't He Clever. I don't know what Steve Asmus is going to do, but Daddy Knows Best now to me. You want to run in the Hill Prince or you want to run in the Kentucky Derby. Daddy Knows Best receives a perfect journey. A strong pace, 46-1, 110-4, allowing for a turf-style, fast-closing eighth of a mile to score the upset victory, returning $9.40. Castaway threw in the towel very early, only beat one horse who was non-competitive. That horse was Just an Old Song, who got beat by nearly 30 lengths to Castaway, who finished second to last. Ender Knievel, that duel just went into submission. Daddy Knows Best just grinded and grinded and grinded until inside the final 16th pole to score the nice victory in the Sunland Park Derby. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we'll have racing from Santa Anita and the Big A. Please stay with us. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now time to turn our attention to Santa Anita 3-year-olds in the 32nd running of the Pasadena Stakes. And I want to just warn you, well back in the pack, last, as a matter of fact, near the top of the stretch, there is a breakdown. The 2-1 favorite coming off of the maiden victory, Midnight Crooner.
Away they go. All came out well. Buffalo Billy a little slow into stride, as was That's Dangerous. Now it's Tones setting off for the lead. Tones in the red colours on the inside, chips all in. They go on to lead them. Midnight Crooner settles in third, just ahead of Unusual Heatwave. Behind that comes Captain Obvious, 4 lengths off the leaders. Stony Fleece races back in 6. Lucas scrapes the paint, 5 lengths off the leaders. Looks like the saddle could have slipped forward here on Captain Obvious. On the far side, we have Vibrato Jazz in the gold, who's now 6 off the leaders. In behind that comes Buffalo Billy, and That's Dangerous taken back to last. They head down the backstretch, and it's Chips All In now in front, just over a length to Tones. Midnight Crooner in a good spot, third. On the far side, we have Unusual Heatwave in fourth. Stony Fleece now races along in fifth, gives them 4-length start. Inside of that comes Captain Obvious. Just behind them comes Vibrato Jazz, now 7 off the leaders. In behind them we have Lucas. Buffalo Billy, second last, got 9 to make up. And last of all, That's Dangerous. They come to the top of the lane, and now Tones goes for home. Tones now takes on Chips All In. Chips All In at the rail, and Tones. Midnight Crooner coming to tackle from the third spot. Just needs someone. Oh, falling at the back here with That's Dangerous. That's Dangerous fell on the turn. They come for home, and Chips All In along the inside. Tones is there. Midnight Crooner gets a late run at them now, and down the centre, Unusual Heatwave finishing gamely. Tones, Chips All In. Tones, Chips All In. Nose and nose. Chips All In gonna score. Chips All In has beaten Tones. Midnight Crooner, Unusual Heatwave finished up fourth.
Chips All In scores the nice victory coming out of a last place finish in the Lewis, beating nearly 40 lengths, but 2 races back. Won the Eddie Logan going the mile on New Year's Eve, and now scores the neck victory, returning $9.80. And when you have Dane Hill on top and Maria's Mon on bottom, not surprised that Chips All In has done well for Jeff Mullins on the turf. Tones finishes second, and the chalk, Midnight Crooner, checks in third, taking on Stakes Company for the first time. 1.5 miles on the dirt, ladies and gentlemen. Time for the Tokyo City Cup. The 9-5 favorite, twice the appeal.
Hill sent on their journey. Graham Crackerjack began well on the inside. Twice the appeal came out nicely as well. But now on the far side, there goes Skipshot, and Skipshot will take over. Now joined by Coluda, and Coluda's going to quicken the pace noticeably up front. Then we drop back to Highway Bandit, who's dropped a good 7 off these leaders. Aldafa's in there as well. Dharma is taken back to be second last, and at the back, Dynamic Host. So they come to the top of the stretch first time round, and it's Coluda in the pink colours. Not in any hurry out here. Looked like they might go quickly, but he slowed them right down now. In the centre, it's Coluda. Along the inside, we have Skipshot, and now here's twice the appeal to make it 3 in a line. Racing in just behind them comes Aldafa in the 4th position. Inside of Aldafa is Graham Crackerjack. Outside of that, we have Dahama, who's only 4 lengths off these leaders. Highway Bandit is in there as well, and Dynamic Host is racing at the back. Into the turn they go, and now Coluda kicks on with it. Coluda along the inside, and twice the appeal. Those two go on as they approach the halfway marker. Skipshot is content to take back into the 3rd position. Highway Bandit in the white blinkers in 4th. Just in behind that comes Aldafa, who's 4 lengths off these leaders, been followed by Dahama. On the far side, Dynamic Host tries to make a bit of headway in the red, and drop back to last is Graham Crackerjack, 7 off the leaders. They run past a 5/8 pole, twice the appeal on the far side, and Coluda at the rail. They are nose and nose up front. Then comes Skipshot. Highway Bandit is right there. On the inside, Dharma is getting much closer as they bunch up now. Dharma's only 2 lengths off them. Dynamic Host has gone from last, caught 5 wide in the red, but right there too. Aldafa, they're all bunched together. 2.5 lengths would separate all those runners, and Graham Crackerjack last by 3. They come past the 3/8 pole, stopping very fast here is Coluda. Coluda just backed up fast. And the new leader now is Skipshot. Skipshot is in front. Dynamic Host has taken the 2nd spot, but here's Dahama looking dangerous now. Dahama is in 3rd. Then there's a big gap of 5 back to Aldafa. So basically we're coming down to 3 at the top of the lane. Dahama is hooked to the grandstand side, and Dahama's coming home gamely now. Skipshot on the inside. Between them is Dynamic Host. Any one of these 3 with an 1/8 of a mile to go. Dynamic Host is all heart on the inside. Dahama, now we're down to 2. Dahama on the outside. Dynamic Host won't let him by. Dynamic Host, Dahama hit it together. Dynamic Host in a thriller, 1 ahead. Dahama was 2nd, Skipshot was 3rd, and Aldafa finished 4th.
Hopefully a prep race for the Breeders' Cup Marathon, ladies and gentlemen. Dynamic Host splitting horses in the 11th furlong, scores the $13 victory for David Flores and Art Sherman. Dahmer finishes second, first start since coming over off an October race. And Skipshot at 9-1 seemed to be in a very good spot, finishes third, well ahead of the rest. Dynamic host the nice victory in Saturday's Tokyo City. Up next, the rescheduled San Luis Rey. They're not going to come down the hill. They're going to run the about distance of 1.5 miles, and Bourbon Bay is 6-5.
Field sent on their 1.5 mile journey in the San Luis Rey. They all broke beautifully. On the inside, Hogs Hollow is going to go on to set the early pace, so Hogs Hollow will go clear early. Utopian quite content to track in right behind him in the second spot. Pace pretty decent early on. Bourbon Bay is on the far side now in the third spot. On the inside of that, we have Porfido in the red colours and Slim Shady's at the back, but they're pretty bunched. Only 4.5 would cover the lot. Settling into stride now, and Hogs Hollow, Garrett Gomez slows them down up front now, but Utopian's coming to keep the pressure on from second. Porfido's a close-up third, just 2 lengths off that leader. Slim Shady has the white colours on the grandstand side, and Bourbon Bay's at the back, but they're still tightly grouped as they come to the top of the stretch first time round. So it's Hogs Hollow who now goes on with it again, leads it by just over a length. Utopian is right there in the second spot. On the inside, Porfido's only 2 lengths off these leaders. Slim Shady is still back second last, and Bourbon Bay's taken a nice hold, bowling along comfortably at the back still. 4 lengths would cover the lot. They head to the 7/8 pole, and Hogs Hollow slowed them down. Now got it all his own way here. He leads it by just about a length. Utopian has been second throughout. Porfido still tucked in third at the rail, 1.5 lengths off that leader. Slim Shady is right there in the 4th spot, and Bourbon Bay, just been confidently ridden, is now 6 off this leader. So they've covered half the journey now, and it's still Garrett Gomez and Hogs Hollow out in front where they've been from the opening of the gate. They lead it by 1/2 length. Mike Smith keeping Utopian right there in second. Porfido's content to just track them on the inside in third. Slim Shady is a close-up 4th in the white colours, only 2 lengths separating all those runners, and then a gap of 3 back to Bourbon Bay. Less than 1/2 mile to go in the San Luis, and they start to quicken now, and Slim Shady, in fact, going to turn it into a sprint. Slim Shady goes flying up on the outside. Between horses, Utopian. On the inside, Hogs Hollow. This is a 3/8 dash for home here. Let's see. Bourbon Bay still got to wind up. Porfido could not quicken. They come to the top of the lane. Hogs Hollow on the inside. Utopian between them. Slim Shady grandstand side. Bourbon Bay trying to get involved late. Homeward bound. It's a thriller in the San Luis race. Slim Shady, Bourbon Bay coming flying on the outside. Slim Shady's got the first run. Bourbon Bay's closing stoutly in the centre. Bourbon Bay now coming to get him. Here's the wire. Bourbon Bay superbly handled by Joel Rosario. Bourbon Bay up in a photo. Second was Slim Shady, then back to Hogs Hollow in third.
Joel Rosario might have been licking his chop when he saw the 3 of them trying to sprint away in the middle of the turn, and he gets the favorite, sent out by Neil Drysdale to score the victory. You saw the gray overcast sky, some rainy weather. Well, it's about to get worse in 90 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. The new course record going the about 1.5 miles, 2:25.78. And over the last 10 years, it's probably about the 3rd or 4th time they've run the San Luis Rey not down the hillside. Up next, fillies and mares, 1.1 miles in the Santa Ana Stakes, 8-5, Camila Rose in awful weather conditions.
Field for the Santa Ana sent on their way. They all appeared to come out well. Along the inside, we have Hard to Resist. Strawberry Daiquiri, the grey, is right there as well. Camellia Rose in the vanguard, too. On the outside comes Hard 7. Tucking in right behind them is Wild Mia, the grey. In behind that, City to City, back in the 6th spot, 5 off these leaders. Alongside of those two comes Andina. Then we come back to Bauble Queen, taken back 3rd last. Vamo a Galupier is 2nd last, and Cambina is the trailer. 10 lengths would cover them all. Into the turn they go, and Strawberry Daiquiri, not in any hurry out here, just takes them along a comfortable pace, leads it a length to Hard 7. Camellia Rose is in 3rd, Wild Mia is 4th. Hard to Resist scrapes paint in 5th, 4.5 off these leaders. City to City's alongside of that. In behind those two comes Andina, who's racing back 4th last, gives them 8 length start. Behind that is Vamo a Galupier, back 3rd last. Then comes Bauble Queen, and Cambina is the trailer. No change in the order. They have a half mile to go in the Santa Ana, and Strawberry Daiquiri still in front, just over a length to hard 7. Candina Rose is tucked in third. City to City's making progress on the far side. Wild Mia's tucked in behind them. Now Vamo, a Galoupier starting to move in contention, just 3 lengths off the leaders. In behind that, Candina and Hard to Resist. They've turned the pressure on at the top of the lane. Strawberry Daiquiri, hard 7's running a big one. City to City with a white face on the outside. And now Vamo, a Galoupier, is hooked to the grandstand side. Vamo Galoupier running on. Candina tries to get involved late as well. It's wide open, City to City. Wild Mia on the inside, Candina on the outside. Vamo, a Galoupier, a blanket finish. Vamo, a Galoupier, gonna get up. Vamo, a Galoupier, perfectly ridden, got up in a driving finish, close for second. Wild Mia, hard 7, City to City's right there too.
Driving finish in a driving rainstorm. 3 horses on the line, 5 in the photo finish, and it is, folks, I don't know, I cannot recall the last time on Horses and Courses we had a Neil Drysdale daily double, ladies and gentlemen. Harken back to the days of yore for the great, great trainer. Vamo Galoupier scores the victory. First time Mike Smith drew the rail in here. 4th time United States, Neil Drysdale returning $17.20 with one of his trainees on the turf at Santa Anita. Wild Mia finishes second, noses out, hard 7 at 11-1 and 67-1. The trifecta comes back nearly $4,500 in the upset victory. Coming back to New York on Wednesday afternoon, we had the Lynn Clare Stakes.
And they're off. My Sunshine Gal out for the lead. Strike the Moon on the outside with Hunches and Punches down at the rail. And Aquitania trails the field in 4th. Up the backstretch. My Sunshine Gal with the lead by a length and a half over Strike the Moon in 2nd. Now Aquitania moves up on the outside into 3rd, and Hunches and Punches is the trailer. The opening quarter mile went in 23 and 4/5 seconds. Strike the Moon now moves up right alongside of My Sunshine Gal, and the two of them race as a team around the far turn. They've opened up 3 lengths on Aquitania and Hunches and Punches. Strike the Moon on the outside and My Sunshine Gal down at the rail. Strike the Moon, narrow lead. My Sunshine Gal battles on the inside. The half went in 46 and 4. On the outside, far outside, here comes Aquitania up to challenge Strike the Moon. Hunches and Punches in between horses. It's Aquitania and Hunches and Punches. Now it's between those two. Aquitania with the lead. Hunches and Punches in 2nd. Aquitania takes it. Hunches and Punches completes the exacta.
Well, there's Aquitania, even money favorite in the field of 4, ladies and gentlemen. Last, with 2 furlongs to go. First, with nothing to go under Junior Alvarado, scores the $4.30 victory, the first stakes victory of the career. One stakes race to bring you from the weekend. It'll be the New York State Breds Fillies of Maris in the Broadway. The 6-5 favorite, Risky Rachel.
And they're off. Nicole's Miss L, Saltamontes, and Risky Rachel at the rail. It's Saltamontes with a head in front of Risky Rachel. Nicole's Miss L is now racing in 3rd. Far outside is Big Brownie with Devilish Spirit alongside. Then a break of 3, the Lady Grace Note. Victory at last is the trailer in 7th. Saltamontes has the lead by a length and a half. Risky Rachel runs in 2nd through an opening quarter mile in 22 and 2/5 seconds. Nicole's Miss L is next in 3rd, 2.5 lengths to Big Brownie, who's on the outside of Devilish Spirit. Then a big break to the 2 trailers, Lady Grace Note, and Victory at last. Risky Rachel and Saltamontes heads apart at the head of the stretch. The half mile in 45 and 3, and it's Risky Rachel with the lead, and she's pouring it on here in the stretch. Risky Rachel has opened up a 5-length lead. Then it's It's Big Brownie moving into second, followed on the outside by Nicole's Miss L and Saltamontes. But Risky Rachel returns a winner in the Broadway. Ran 3/4 in 1:10 and 2.
First start since being off the board on Black Friday in the Go for Juan Stakes. Risky Rachel returns and pays $4.70 by winning by better than half a dozen lengths, with Big Brownie as the second choice at 2-1 finishing second, and Nicole's Miss L as the co-longest choice on the board at 21-1 finishes third under Dennis Carr. That wraps up this week's edition of Horses and Courses. Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to join us on Monday morning at 10 o'clock for another edition of HNC.